Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and as promised I'm back with this tutorial. We're going to go through the patterns and then the tutorial. Before we go ahead, I just want to tell you that my paid channel is coming up in April, and here are a few more bags that I have done in addition to the one that I have shown you last week. This is a bag called Marina. Basically I have taken two pieces of fabric, one was light grey and one was brown, and I have done a cut and sew sort of effect. So you could do any design, it doesn't matter. I've just kind of done the wavy sort of effect, and you can see how this is done, and then bind it in the center with the bias binding. And you could do kind of leaf designs, paisley designs, whatever you like. So it's a new technique that I have used, so I think that's quite interesting, and you could do 2 or 3 colors or even more colors if you wanted to. And we have this one which is called Bethany. I have done this with patchworking people in mind, where you have a lot of these pre-cut squares that you can use with the help of a bias binding, but also how to kind of match it on the side seams so that the design continues on the other side. It's basically a tote bag, but you have got the zipper on the top and you've got loads and loads of pocket inside as well. Next up, I have this beautiful handbag, and this almost looks like a store-bought, really neatly finished item. I have used a leather handle, and if I open it like so and take my filling out, you will see that it has got a beautiful pocket with a heart applique inside. I love all this detail inside a handbag. And then there's another pocket inside as well, and it's all completely lined and turned inside out, and pattern of that is, and also the pattern is free along with the package, so don't forget that. This is a New York magazine kind of weave. It's a beautiful fabric. I fell in love with it, really expensive fabric. And you've got side pockets, and if I open it, I have got loads of slip pocket and also a zipper pocket. Zipper, slip and zip pocket, which you can use it both ways. So that's the latest one I have got. So remember, all the patterns are free, and it's coming probably about end of the first week of April. So watch this space, and I'm going to update you with all the things that I'm doing. Okay, so right now let's go ahead and get started with this bag. Okay, here is the pattern, and I've done a little outline mark so you can see it properly. Let's go through and see how to attach these patterns. This is the finished product, and here are the patterns. Basically we need to join 1 and 1A, and also 4 and 4A. 2 and 3 are just separate patterns that's going to go on this side of the bag. This is 3 and this is 2, and this is 1 and 1A we need to join. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this. And I'm going to trim quite close to the edge, because this is going to go and attach on the other side. So basically this is going to go and sit there like that. So that will be your full pattern, and just match the pattern on the sheet, the flowery pattern there, and you should get your pattern right. And then go ahead and join these two for your strap, and there you have 1, 2, 3 and 4, all the patterns ready. Okay, so let's go ahead, cut out the patterns, and then see how to put the bag together. This is 4 and 4A. Basically they go like that, and then you just put a little sellotape to attach them, and that's your bag base template. That's the bag base and also a strap template. I'll explain to you on the video later. And here is part 2, part 3 and part 1, 2 panels put together, and that's your pattern complete. To start off this project, we'll just go through what we need.
I've got two back panels of a jean, and basically with the pockets, we're not going to use the pockets, we're going to chop this off and use this part of the denim. I have got a 20-inch zipper. You don't need a 20-inch zipper, but if you take it exactly the same, if you make a mistake, then it's really difficult to mend it. I've also got a 6-inch small zipper, but you can take it slightly longer. You'll know when we go through this project. For the lining and the base of the fabric, I've got lots of choice here. I just want to show you, these are all samples that I picked up for absolutely free from a store, from a retail store. I went and told them in the curtain department that if you have any samples that you want to give away, I'm doing some projects, recycled projects, and they gave all of this fabric for free and also a lot more. I really bought a big bag of this. So you can actually pick some of the lining fabric up absolutely free, and this is gorgeous. It's good weight of lining and gives you good strength to your bags. You also need your pattern. I'm going to go ahead and cut all my patterns and come back and start the project. I've cut out all the pattern pieces, and let's just go through one by one. This is my handle. I've already made my handle, and I have put a little D-ring right at the end. You don't need a D-ring. If you don't need it, just take the handle a little bit longer. There is no pattern for this handle because I have already shown you on a separate video how to make the handle. I have used a 1-inch wide webbing tape inside this handle, and for this pattern you need only 1 inch wide. If you take any wider, then it's not going to suit very well. I'm going to keep this aside, and I will explain about the handle a little bit later. Now this is my bottom panel, that's the pattern, and there's the main fabric, that's the lining, and this is the back panel, this is the front panel. Now the front panel, this is my seamless zigzag join, like you can see, because normally you don't get wider denim panels like this. If you want to learn how to patch up denim without a bulky seam join, I call this a seamless zigzag join, where you actually kind of join with a zigzag and you bind it with a fusible interfacing from the back side. Go and watch the video. I'm placing the link for it in the description box below. It's called seamless zigzag join. Now what I normally do is I cut out my denim on a center fold, but try and avoid the join to come in the center, because then you can't fold it properly. It's a little bit thicker than the denim. Then I place it on top of my lining fabric and then cut it out, because sometimes if you make any mistakes, your denim might have a lot of stretchability. It always helps to do it that way. If you've got fabric for the top and the bottom, separate ones, you don't have to use denim, you can use any fabric. So there's 2 pieces of lining and there's one piece of the denim. On the back side and the back of the bag, we have a cut here. This is where we're going to place the zip, the smaller zip. So that's that one. I'm going to put the pattern pieces away. This is a little tip I just wanted to share with you. When you have to cut something on fold, then I always place a little paper clip and make sure that the edge is straight, and then you can cut it out straight away without marking it. But if you're not confident, go ahead and mark it and then cut it out. So let me just remove that and put my pattern away. Now I want to explain a little bit about the base of the bag. This is this one, which is again cut on fold. Now this is the main fabric, and I have used a little bit of canvas. This is called collar canvas, and you get this in a 1 inch wide strip, 2 inch wide strip, but this one I cut it myself, so I have made it to the width I needed it. Basically this is stiff. It has a glue on one side and the fabric on the other side, so you really need good heat to kind of press this. And the lining fabric has got no fusing at all. So I'll keep it aside. This is the main zip, which is going at the top of the bag. I also have got little strips of fabric where I have kind of folded on either side. This is straight, this is not bias. And I'm going to explain this to you later on. I've got 2 of these. This was left over, so I just used it. Depending on the length of your handle, whether you need this or not, you can decide later on. Okay, this is extra, which is not in the pattern. This is a little piece of bias binding which I had, so I'm going to use it for a little bit of decoration. Okay, this is the front of my bag. You can go ahead and make a pocket if you like, but I just wanted a little bit of decoration, so I'm going to place my beige colored bias binding there, and this is a straight fabric, it's not a bias binding, but it has got folds on either side. So I'm just going to place it like this, and that's just a little decoration in the front, so it's not just plain and boring. So basically I'll go ahead, pin this up, and I go and sew on either side, and once I finish that I'm going to go place this like this and go and sew on either side of this as well. When you're placing your top decorations like this, whether bias binding or straight fabric, just make sure that this doesn't end in the corner, because it's always tricky to turn these corners. So try and do this well away from the corners. So at least about an inch or 2-3 centimeters away is fine. I can always kind of, shift it a little bit and see how you like it. Okay, this is the foot I just wanted to tell you about, because this gives you the perfect edge stitch that you're looking for. Because if you use a normal foot like this, you're not going to get this finish. So try and get one of these. This is absolute piece of gem. So basically turn your stitch length to medium and just sew a straight stitch. Keep your eye on this edge, because this will kind of guide you through the edge of the fabric, and then you get a neat straight stitch. I just turn around and then go turn over on the other side and start sewing again. Okay, we have just sewn the decorations. If I can show you in a close-up, hold it properly, you can see how neat that stitch is on either side. Okay, we're going to keep this aside. I've trimmed all the sides. So we're going to now work on the zipper side. So this is the back panel. Now we've got 2 panels there. So basically what we're going to do, don't worry about if the sides doesn't match when you turn over like this, because I'm going to show you something that's going to match it perfectly later on. Okay, so let's just put it like this, and we're going to go and sew a 1/2 inch stitch. Before we go and sew, we need to make some markings. Okay, now I have taken 1/2 inch seam allowance and I have done a marking. It is just a straight line and 1/2 inch mark. Okay, now depending, you can take a slightly longer zip. I have taken a 6 inch wide zip. So based on your zip, you need to make this marking. That's why I have not given any markings in the pattern. My zip is 6 inches. I need to add 1/2 inch so that we have a little bit of gap on either side. So that is 6.5 inches. So now we go and make the center mark first. So measure one end of this pattern to the other end and now make a center mark. Once you have the center mark, now take your 6.5 inches, fold your tape, and see that's coming to 3.25. So now we go and place the 3.25 in the center, and then 6.5 here and the beginning of the tape here. So that gives us a perfect marking. Okay, now keep this aside. If you're confused about this, go back 2 minutes and watch it again and again till you get it right. If you get this marking right, your zip is going to look perfect, I promise you. Okay, now before we go and sew, I have to explain. We're going to start off from this edge. You can see there's a little corner here. Don't worry about it. Just center it. You're going to get that corner on both the sides. Don't worry about it. Start with the back stitch. Sew a normal stitch from here. And then at this marking, we are going to do a little back stitch, and you got to stop dead on here. Now, change your stitch length to longest on your machine. Now that will be like a jump stitch, because we're going to remove the stitch later on. So from here we're going to jump really long stitch, and we come to this point. Forget about the center point now, this point at the end. Now do a little back stitch. Back stitch should go from this point towards the other end, not inside, because this is the gap we need for the zip. So back stitch, and then change your stitch back to your normal length. Now sew, and then go and finish with the back stitch. I'm going to film this and show you what to do. I'm going to start off with the back stitch. So Now I'm just about to come to my first point. So I come to my first point and then I stop dead on that point and then do a back stitch. Okay, now I take my stitch length to the longest. Now I go really long stitch. I'm just passing my center point there. Now we're coming to the end of the marking. So now I stop at the marking, go back to the normal stitch, sew a couple of stitches and then back stitch. If you have to go one stitch at a time, get this right because it's really important. Now I go back, I've gone back to my normal stitch, I just go sew all the way and finish with a back stitch. Okay, we're finished sewing. I just remove my pins and any one of the end. Okay, before we go ahead, we need to determine which side the beginning of the zip is going to be. So let me just keep my zip here. So this is the back side of the zip, that's the front side of the zip, that's where your zipper puller is. So keep it that way for now. Now what we're going to do is we go back to the marking. Just make a little notch mark because otherwise you'll end up marking the other side as well. It's easier to make a notch mark, so take it on there, just fold it on there and then just make a notch mark. Okay, now what we're going to do is after your back stitch, after the notch, just go and open just a little, one or two couple of stitches, and even this end just go and open just 2 stitches. That should be fine. Not your back stitch, just after the back stitch where you've done the long stitching, just open a couple of stitches. Okay, now we go and open this with a hot iron, just like that. Now go and place your zip. The beginning of the zip puller should be just after your first notch mark here. Okay, so when you look at this end, the end of the zip should sit just before the notch, so that should be perfect. Because I have only just done the pattern, my seam allowance is not big enough, but I have gone and changed the pattern, so when you get your patterns, this should be wide enough so the seam allowance will actually match or slightly larger than your zip size. Okay, so don't worry about it. Now basically what we need to do is our zip need to be, the center of the zip need to be on the seam. Now this is the tricky part. If you want a neat finish, you got to put some effort into it. So now put the zip in the center. If you want to tack it, go and tack it. But normally what I do is I just go and place some pins on one side. Now I go back and check whether the center of my seam is sitting on the center of the zip. If not, I just go and move it again and make sure it's sitting in the center. So now I fold it back up and I go and sew a stay stitch. I'll put it to a zipper foot so that I could sew till the edge, and I put a stay stitch only on the seam, not on the fabric, just on the seam. You'll see why we need this afterwards. I thought I'll explain it to you again because when I start sewing you might get confused as to which side am I sewing. So that is the seam. Now if I turn it around, this is the wrong side of the zip, that's the right side of the zip, and there's the puller. Okay, I have pinned on one side. Now I'm going to fold it over this way and I can see my seam. But it doesn't have to be close to this stitch as long as the zip and the seam allowance kind of just attached together. It doesn't have to be a really neat stitch, as long as it's only a stay stitch. You don't see this from the outside. So I'll leave a little bit from here because I've got the puller here, so it won't go very close. So I'm just going to leave a little bit, and from here to here I'm just going to go and put a stay stitch. I'll go as far as my zipper foot can sit there, and I'm only putting an edge stitch. this is where we've put the stitch. Now we're going to turn it around this side, remove the pins, and then try and attach this to this side of the zip. Because there's no zip edge, I can start right at the edge of this one. Okay, we have sewn the zipper on either side only to the seam allowance. Now before we go ahead and put the final stitch on, we need to sew a little pocket inside. So when you put your hands in from this side, you have a secure pocket. Okay, so for that, this is not in the pattern. You need a little bit of extra fabric. Because you don't see the pocket, you can just take any fabric. I've just taken an old fabric that was left over with me. So slightly wider than your zip and slightly longer than your panel. So one piece of fabric, I'm going to keep it aside because that's just a patch. Now this fabric, I need to approximately keep it around and where my zipper line is. So take it, and then I'm just going to take, so I'm just going to cut it into that line. Basically we need to attach on either side. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that first. Now the smaller piece goes on the top, the longer piece goes at the bottom. Okay, that is the top of the bag, bottom of the bag. Now I'm going to fold this in this way and hold it in like that, and then we can only just attach it to the zipper tape. It doesn't need to go all the way in. So let me just go and sew one line there, and after I have sewn that, I'm just going to let it down there and then turn this side over, and I have to sew to this side of the allowance. Okay, we have attached this bit, and I shouldn't have trimmed this, but I did by mistake, so don't do this. Leave the little bit extra on both the sides when you're doing it. Now before we go ahead, I'm just going to pin this lining in place. Okay, around the zip area, I don't know if you can see in the camera, I have made a rectangular marking. So go and mark it on your denim, or on a, if you can use a water soluble pen if you can, or white marking chalk, and mark it so that your seam is perfect, because it's going to be outside and people are going to see it, and you got to finish it very neatly. Okay, I put my zipper foot back, and I'm going to start somewhere in the center, because when you come to the corners you need to turn the corners very neatly. So I'm going to start somewhere in the center. At this stage, that was end of part 1, and if you want to learn how to finish the zipper and then how to finish the bag, go ahead and watch part 2. You'll find the links below the description box of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next project.